Good morning, students. Welcome to the class. We are doing chapter 3 of Sociology, class 11, and the name of the chapter is Understanding Social Institution. In today's session, we will cover religion as a social institution and education as a social institution. So, let us start with our session. Why should we analyze religion? What is religion? Why it is important in the social context? M.I. Durkheim has suggested that religion is a unified system of beliefs and practices relative to sacred things, uniting into a single moral community all those who adhere to those beliefs and practices. Religion has existed throughout the history of human society. Religion is not only a part of man's culture but also an important aspect of human social life. Religion is based upon one's assumptions and speculations about one's social and natural environment. Religion is universal. Different religious activities are followed all over the world. Each religion has its own institutions or organizations. There are many religious institutions in India which follow their own beliefs and faiths. We chant and sing in praise of God. We refrain from eating certain type of foods and fast on some days to please the Almighty. We pray and perform sacrifices in the name of God and so on. Such religious behavior is different from our normal behaviors. Though the individual may perform certain rituals alone, there are other religious ceremonies and festivals which the believer perform collectively. The main religious groups found in India are Hindu, Muslim, Christians and Sikhs. Now let us understand the characteristics of religion. Faith in a divine or supreme power. This divine or supreme power may be different in each religion, but it is absolutely certain that faith in the divine power is the basic of religion. Mental agitation and passion. Emotion of love, devotion, fear and terror and other strong sentiments are connected to religion because through these only the faith in the divine power is expressed. Then the religious behavior. In order to seek the blessing and attain the grace of the divine power, prayer and worship is done. Hence, this religious behavior is an essential characteristic of religion. Then we have religious ingredients. For the purpose of observing various religious practices, different type of ingredients are required in each religion. For example, for the yagna in Hindu religion, things like mango, pure ghee, rice, etc. are required. Feeling of the best. Followers of each religion consider their own religion to be the best. This feeling is so universal that it has become an essential element of religion. These are some of the characteristics of religion. Now we understand what is education. Man is different from other living creatures. He does not behave in the society according to impulse but according to the training he receives. Education is a process of social learning. It involves both formal and informal institution of learning. Education is a process that develops the personality and inherent capabilities of a child. It socializes the child to play adult roles in society and provide the necessary knowledge and skill for the individual to be a responsible member of the society. It inculcates norms, values and cultural heritage of a society among the members. education is a series of such experience which direct man toward a successful life. Now we have informal and formal type of education. Mainly there are two systems or types of education, that is formal and informal. First of all, we discuss what is informal education. In informal education, a child learns in the family from his parents and other family member. He also learns from his friends when he play with them. Similarly, a group learns from other groups. Informal education has greater influence in those society where either there are no school or there are only few schools which cannot educate all the children. Informal education is obtained through family, sports, groups, kins, etc. Education makes men a social animal through languages, ideals, values, festivals, and so on. Family and community activities, legends and folk tales, etc. are very important in this education. Children learn everything through language. Then we have formal education. The education imparted institutionally through different institutes like school, colleges, universities, etc. is called formal education. The student studying in these institutions are prepared to take examination according to different syllabuses and are conferred on certificates and degree on successful completion of their examination. As the ancient books confirm that formal education existed even in ancient India, the education system of India has derived its roots from British education system. This British, also called modern education system, began in England in 1870 and FISA Education Act was passed in 1918, under which education was made mandatory for the children up to the age of 14 years. Later this age was extended to 15 years and now it is 16 years. Primary education have been made mandatory for the age group of 6 to 14 years. The government aim is to cover all the children of the above age group under this program by 2010. Now let us understand some social function of education. It helps in socialization of youngs, it transmits cultural heritage, it helps in personality formation. That's it with today's session. From next class we will start with our 4th chapter of class 11. Till then, take care. Goodbye.